it was a really, it was an exhausting 2 weeks.
How many days did you shoot?
We shot 8 days total over 2 weeks.
Okay.
Like often days and nights.
Yeah. So long days.
Including one day that just never, ever ended. So when Angela says we were like a family, like we were sort of like all on this ship that was off in the middle of the ocean for 2 weeks of it was like madness, you know. But like also as kind of anxious and high intensity and high emotion as the environment had to be because of the story we're telling, the level of support and trust and unity in the production will make it something that I don't think any of us will ever forget. Mm-hmm. You know, and certainly I will never forget what these two did for this film. This film is Angela and Seth.
So when you talk about the one day that will never end, you guys all kind of looked at each other and laughed. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened that day?
But you can't talk about that day without talking about the 2 days before.
Yes, yeah. So
it was like 3 days that never ended.
I try to pride myself on organization, and you know, this film had a lot of pieces, and we brought in a lot of color theory into the cinematography, and
I noticed that. I noticed in the kitchen scenes, you know, Daniel's perspective, Angela's perspective, Daniel, Jennifer, sorry. You know what I mean. That the lights in the kitchen specifically were very different.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, we could do like a full like frame by frame analysis of all of the sort of thought and theory behind each of the composition and the color theory and the wardrobe and the way Seth's hair was, and like all the details. But you know, we had chosen a location for the Morris house, Jennifer and Daniel Morris's house. That was sort of the you know, primary location for the film because a lot of pieces take place there. And I did not want to shoot it in a conventional location that's used for a lot of adult stuff. I wanted to make it look fresh and different. I found a new location, and everything seemed great on paper. And they were great on the first day. We went through, we were shooting stuff. And then we had a visit by the police at about 8 p.m., not for the reason that you would think normally on an adult set, but because they had been alerted that there were like, you know, there was like underage drinking or partying happening.
Was it probably
it had nothing to do with us.
It wasn't even your house.
Well, it had nothing to do with our crew.
Well, the fact that like there's people talking late at night.
Well, this was pretty secluded. This was a somewhat secluded estate.
Weird.
So the cops show up. It's about 8 o'clock. The cops show up, did a walk through the house because they were checking for underage drinkers. Obviously, there were no minors whatsoever involved in any aspect of the production. But as soon as that visit happened, we were like, okay, we're done for today. Mm-hmm. And the homeowner was very apologetic, explained that it was a mistake. It was a call down the street and the cops had come to the wrong address. Everything will be fine tomorrow. So we show up the next day and we shoot and things seem fine. They're going well. And then at about 10 o'clock at night, like 100 teenagers start showing up on the property to have a rave. And so, you know, I'm not kidding. Like we're shooting dialogue. We're there.
Thankfully.
I think Abigail had just shown up. She's, you know, is the supporting actress in the film, and we were just starting to work through her scene. And then we just noticed lights outside because there were glow sticks, you know, because they were having like a rave. And we kind of realized we'd go out there and you know, the big burly guys on the crew kind of go out there to see what's going on. And the homeowner casually informed us, or like the homeowner's cousin, or like it was sort of run by a pack of cousins or brothers or something. So like one of the relatives announced, oh yeah, you know, we're throwing a party. And we're like, no, we're shooting a film. But obviously, you know, as soon as the party started, it was time to go. So we packed up our stuff for the second night and drove through the swarms of clearly underage drinkers that, you know, I suspect he may have had coming to his location on a regular basis. And I think it was the first time he had ever rented his location we had got it off a mainstream production website, but I don't think he had really done that before. And I think he was doing a lot of double bookings, or who knows.
Or maybe, because I find that this happens sometimes with location owners, they think, oh, you're shooting an adult film, so like there's no quality control, or like you don't care what happens. Yeah, well, it's a big like party, right?
Yeah, well,
you guys have taken your job seriously, so we have a rave outside.
We had gone in and like they knew we were shooting a mainstream film, but I mean, again, I don't think they really understood anything. So on the third day, we were left with, oh my gosh, we have to shoot. We've already committed so much to this location. We can't like fake that, you know, we can't move this anywhere else. We have to finish. We don't know what else is going to happen because at this point every day was bringing a new surprise. And we had lost hours on the first 2 days of shooting. And so we all rallied and shot the longest day and night in history. We all left when the sun was coming up. And the scenes that you see at the beginning of the film, the confrontation in the kitchen, in the beginning of the film, and then obviously the other side of it that happens halfway through, where Daniel gets particularly aggressive. We shot that at about 5:30 in the morning, like with everybody on their last nerve, like just not in a frustrated way, but just in like a just exhausted, frazzled kind of way. Yeah. And now when I look at that, I think that I actually find one of the most unsettling moments in the film is in that the first time we meet the other side of Daniel and when he confronts Jennifer in the kitchen. And I know that we were so running on fumes at that moment that it actually like it translated into such an anxious moment in the film, which I think adds so much to the story. But the real life was 5:30 in the morning, and like literally Seth was just getting the last screams out that he could before like collapsing, you know, before we all like, and you know, Angela is just being like battered, like verbally, you know, like we're all just filming it like this. So it was, and we got the hell out of there and we'll never go back, you know. But it was, I think, a testament to that's not the type of set that I like to run, right? We were all kind of like, we have to get through this, next time maybe go back to those houses.
There's a reason why we shoot at those houses all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But we made it through. But that was probably, I would say, like, that was like the height of anxiety.
Yeah. You know what?
Hey guys, if you want to support my show, then you should think about joining my Patreon. At my Patreon, I offer all kinds of amazing perks in exchange for your financial support. From live streams of my interviews as they are happening, to bonus Q&As, behind the scenes photos and videos of my shoots, plus cool merch like stickers, mugs, and hoodies, we have you covered. So go to patreon.com/HollyRandallUnfiltered, and while you're at it, make sure that you click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single one of my new updates.